Hey, what's up? It's Weekly Metal Reviews. It's me and Keith doing this album review for Because We Care. Go check them out because they talk about cool stuff like
sex.
Yeah, with Reggie Watts. And Zach's just gonna sit here because he's playing Call of Duty, and yeah, he hasn't really listened to this album, so he's exempt because he got 2 A's, but so he doesn't have to take the final. But and the final is talking about this. Me and Keith both failed, so we're going to talk about this. Deadly Nightshade. Sam got 2 A's too, so he's not talking about it. But this is Megadeth's new album, Th1rt3en. It came out recently, Roadrunner Records. Yeah. I felt like this was like kind of almost under the radar. It was like, oh, Megadeth made a new album. You know, I knew they were writing music, but I didn't know it would come out this soon, especially after Endgame. But this album is very strong. I thought they have Sudden Death and Never Dead on here, which were for video games. Sudden Death was for Guitar Hero, which is really hard. But
was it Never Dead for a game called Never Dead or something like that?
Something like that. But actually, I feel like those are 2 of the strongest songs on this album, especially Never Dead. When that riff kicks in, that is one of the heaviest Megadeth songs I've ever heard. Deadly Nightshade, the song that's playing right now, is ridiculously catchy. That chorus is just awesome.
I like you guys now.
Dave Mustaine. Yeah, he's got a really snarly voice in this album too. It just, I don't know. This album kind of fits in with the Countdown to Extinction, euthanasia type stuff. Like, it's thrashy, but it's real kind of like commercial, mainstream rock, catchy metal. I do feel like there's some stupid songs on here at times. What's the one? Fast Lane. I felt like that song was completely retarded. In the fast lane, like a jet plane, I'm going insane. Like, that's just so... That is so stupid.
Yeah, and whatever the one, I didn't We the People, I thought that one was kind of stupid.
It was okay. What do you think about this album?
I liked the album. Like he said, there was Sudden Death and Never Dead were really good. And before I even listened to this album, I saw the music video for Public Enemy No. 1, which I thought,
good one too.
Which was an interesting video. I mean, it has 2 monkeys driving a car chasing after each other. But yeah. Black Swan's a good song. I like that one. And Deadly Nightshade's a good song. Yeah, kind of like what Tyler said, it fits in with Countdown. It's a little bit more commercial, you know, especially since, you know, Dave considers any song longer than 5 minutes to be a really long song. So, you know, whatever. Like you said, the chorus for Deadly Nightshade sticks out in my mind. I like the intro and the first verse of Public Enemy No. 1. I think that's pretty good too. And then yeah, I think I could be wrong. I think I played Sudden Death once when I was over here playing Guitar Hero, and I couldn't beat it. I mean, I play on medium because, you know, I suck at playing guitar, real life and in Guitar Hero, and I couldn't beat it.
Yeah. It's okay, you can do karate.
And it's perfectly fine.
I think this album's prejudiced. I give it a 1 out of
2. The riffs on this album are very kind of simple. They're not really some of them, not all of them are hard, simple though, but some of them are just I don't know, simple. One thing I do really like is that Chris Broderick is not wanking off on his guitar, and you know, like he did on Endgame. I felt like he just wanted to show off. If you ask me to remember a solo off that album, I will just laugh because I can't remember anything.
They were all
any
really
solos. Yeah, they were just shreddy. They had nothing memorable about them. On this, they're more. They fit more. They're not just him showing off. you know, it's cool. Like Chris Broderick is a great guitar player, and you know, it's cool that he kind of just is fitting in better. No guitar player that Megadeth will ever get will beat Marty Friedman. No, I don't care. Marty Friedman's the best guitar player.
But he moved to Japan and started a gay band.
Yeah, he sings
He's
pop,
in a pop
stuff. Yeah.
But
yeah, like kind of like you said, like the guitars aren't like really complicated. Like, to be 100% honest, the only riff that really sticks out in my head while I'm thinking right now is the intro and like verse riff to whatever it is right after Black Swan Wrecked. I like that. That's like kind of like one of my kind of riff. And I also heard two things about this album, which was like how they were handling the leads, where like Dave and Chris were kind of dividing them up because Dave's a better rhythm guitar and Chris is a better soloer. So when the rhythms were really tough, Chris would solo, but then if the rhythms were really simple, Dave would solo, and that was kind of how they figured it out. And you know, they got David Ellison back on this one, which they didn't have in the last one.
That is true. That is cool. I felt like the bassist they had, James something, was really like mediocre.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that good at all. He was just like, you know.
I thought he was really
And
good.
I think that's part of the reason, because I think at one point Dave said something along the lines of, because you know, Megadeth's gone through a lot of lineup changes over the year, that if this lineup were to fall apart, he wouldn't continue the band. Because he's like, I think this is probably one of the best lineups we've had ever had.
And it kind of is.
I mean, if they had Marty Friedman back, then I'd agree. But,
Yeah.
And then that would be my only wish for this lineup. But
Yeah, it's cool to see Megadeth making thrash albums again. Like, the production's so much heavier than their older stuff. It's just great. But yeah, that's about it for this album that I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, to be 100% honest, I think I listened to this album like one time through before we did this. So
Yeah, it's just a good album. I'd give this a 8.5 out of 10.
yeah, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
I'm sticking with 1 out of 2.
Yeah.
Faggot.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
So that is our final, the weekly metal reviews final. I hope we get an A on this in your mind, because if not, then we will fail the course and we might have to redo it again.
Fuck.
I hope I get an A on your test.
So
Yeah.
Yo, Sim, how you turn this thing off?
Press the little red button. Hey, fuck you.
Oh, red.